We're joined now by Michael Czinkota here in Washington. He's an associate professor of marketing and international business at Georgetown University. Welcome back to the show. Michael, your take following this latest China-U.S. trade meeting that ended over the weekend and this framework that both sides are working toward. Are you optimistic? What were your thoughts following this last meeting here?
I'm quite optimistic. We have to keep in mind that what we're doing here is not tweaking a trade relation, but we're redesigning a trade relation. And that means that in sports terms, we have to decide what game are we playing. We have to decide on the playing field. We have to decide what the rules are. And then only can we start the real play. And so we're at these early stages still in terms of redesign, and we're making good progress in that.
You know, one thing we heard come out of it was the possibility of China buying more U.S. products. How does the outcome of the meeting help cut the trade deficit and support growth with employment in the U.S.? Will that make a difference here?
Well, anything will make a difference. The question is, how long will it really make a difference? And here we have to be very careful. I did some negotiations like that some decades ago with an Asian country, and I insisted that there be more sales to that country in terms of U.S. exports. And the country promised me, yes, we'll do it. They even gave a specific number, and lo and behold, a year later, that number is exactly what they lived up to. I wanted to research what had changed, how had things gotten better. And because it looked like manufactured goods is really where things happened. Well, it turned out that this particular country acquired mainly gold from the U.S., and gold bars count as manufactured goods. But that was not what we had in mind in terms of increasing exports. So we have to keep track of who is doing what and how are they doing it, because keep in mind, a large proportion of success comes from the ability of American firms to learn, to improve, and to lead through innovation. If it's just filling order sheets out and then shipping stuff, that's not good enough. We need more than that.
You know, we also heard from China's Vice Premier Liu He. What does China get out of all of this?
Well, China has been gaining enormous benefits in decades past by running under the flag of a developing nation. China is no longer a developing nation, and it hasn't been for a while. So China is now being welcomed to the community of strong, industrialized nations and carries its own, not burden, but activity without falling as a problem situation to other nations.
So we see U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross heading back to China to sort of talk through this some more in just a couple of weeks. What will you be looking for, and do you think we could see a trade deal done, signed, and delivered?
Well, I do expect it, because the Trump administration has thought this through. Not necessarily that all the answers are there, but the idea of how do we approach this and what do we want to achieve is clearly embedded in the current discussions, and I expect that results will be forthcoming in a few weeks. But again, keep in mind, for example, in the year 2000, the US and China were at about the same level of knowledge in terms of transportation and logistics. In the meantime, by today, China has increased its capabilities and learning by about 5 times. So it's 5 times exceeded the US now. Now that means China has an inherent advantage in its international trade as far as transportation and logistics is concerned. We have to give US firms the same ability, the same capacity to learn and to compete successfully.
All right, Michael Czinkota, Georgetown University, thank you for your time.